just sort of. Do you know what happened? I was having a smoke outside, my usual late at night smoke outside the hospital.
Smoking a pancake.
And this chick, she always comes down for like the last week now. She's heavy in the fight as well with other shit going on. And then she was one that reminded me, like, she's the one that goes to me, isn't it like day 82 for you tomorrow? I'm like, yeah. And it's sort of, that number keeps hitting me. Like, that's a lot of days this year, 82. And I'm still there. I'm still up there.
Yeah.
Chilling. Just going about my day. Doing absolutely nothing.
In the ward.
Just,
Man of the ward.
It is a fucking... Oh, bro, I'm done. I'm over it now.
Yeah.
I'm over it now. Like, I remember, all this time I'm always quite, I feel like, bro, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I feel like when you meet me for the first time and I'm upbeat.
Yeah.
So I'm the Kels that everyone sort of expects, that quote-unquote Kels, right? And I'm in that mood, and then I meet someone for the first time. I feel like it is kind of it's because I'm a little bit different, because it's like I'm a bit loud and in your face and blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of unique. And when you meet people for the first time in that mood, it's quite, it's like flames, moths to a flame sort of thing, because you're kind of like, entertaining in a way, I guess. The problem is when you don't feel like that, Kels, it becomes so fucking polarizing, so obvious that something's up. But so what I've learned is the last couple of weeks of the hospital, bro, is I haven't had the usually I'll talk to every single person that goes past me. That's just how I am in general in life. But nothing. All I want to do is get to my bed, but when I get there, I get claustrophobic, so I end up going all these like multiple walks throughout the night, smoking like a lot of weed, just something fucking do. And I was actually talking to one of the nurses today about how there is an absolute like zilch, like it's an afterthought, mental health up there. It's always about what's your pain score, physical pain, where's your pain, what's your pain out of 10. But not once do any single nurse will really like ask you like how you're doing, like the mental health stuff. The nurses that do, it's because they give a shit because they're human beings, but they're not because they're doing their job. That's what I'm trying to say.
They're good people. Yeah,
they're good people, but in the job, like, because I've been just quietly asking for the last few days now. Like the other night I couldn't sleep, right? And I had just like, every time I go nod off to sleep, I'll get an anxiety, like a panic attack, and it'll wake me up. So I had the shakes. Mine was just going a million miles an hour. I had panic. So I asked, like, I rang for the, because I've got to ring the button all the time for pain relief. So I rang the button. The nurse comes along, and I'm like, look, she goes, oh, pain relief, right? I'm like, well, no, actually, like, I've got really bad anxiety. I'm having panic attacks. I have a long history of mental health, but currently unmedicated. Is there something that you can give me to help with my anxiety? And then she's like, oh, we'll do your obs first. Okay, did that. They were quite high, heart rate and stuff. But then I was like, there's nothing we can give you. So and it was about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, right? The nurse leaves, and for the rest of the night, like, not once did a nurse sort of check in. And this is not a jab. This is not a stab. This is not like a poke at the staff at the hospital, because they're fucking amazing. And that's a big shout out to the Ward 29 staff. Without them, I wouldn't. They make life a lot easier. It's the system. And the system dictates, like, take care of physical pain, do what you got to do. But not once is there any sort of, what do you call it, any sort of urgency when it comes to mental health. Because, like, my thing is 82 days out of this year, like, when people do these long lags at the hospital, like, it fucks with you in some way, shape or form, like, mentally, because it's a hard thing to go through. Like, not only are you in a foreign environment, but like if you're there for a decent amount of time, you're obviously there for some sort of health related issue. It's a very stressful time, and there's no mental health sort of urgency at all. And then when you do make it urgent by putting your hand up saying, I need help right now, it's kind of been ignored for the last 3 days. It's just like, we got to get someone to come in and talk to you, like a counsellor or something. But that's been 3 days now, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like, and it's because like it's all their, you know, their prime objective, nurses, is to make like the patient comfortable and adhere to all the things that they need, like tablets and stuff. And Ward 29 is humming. They are on their feet the whole time. Yeah. Work like they are just non-stop. I got mad respect. But in terms of mental health, I don't think it's something that's prioritized when it comes to, because there's only so many hours in a day, there's only so much staff that goes around. I understand that, but it's just another angle, because going into this mental health game, the system, because I've gone through it in different angles, like different ways, through a doctor, through a psychiatrist, like just straight through a counselor, word of mouth, blah blah blah, and I feel like there's no real urgency towards it, because there's not enough time and not enough resources, bro.
Yeah, I think that's
I think it's hard.
I think my personal belief, and this is only my opinion, okay? So if you're listening to this and you're like, you're wrong, cool, happy to talk about it, and I'm happy to learn more, but I agree with you that this is a system fault, not a person fault. So I don't think this has anything to do with the staff, the nurses, the doctors.
No, they're all fucking awesome.
I don't doubt it, because when I've been up there, I've seen how awesome they are. But I think this is also a stigma. The reason why it's a system fault is because it's still a stigma. I still think mental health is a big stigma, has a big stigma to it.
Yeah, I guess so.
This thing, and they're like, oh, mental health. No, you should be in that ward. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't treat that here. You know, that's that ward that does it. Like, I know the episode I had with Carl, we talked about that. Like, you know, mental health has this whole thing about it, this old school mentality of, oh, no, we don't talk about that sort of thing. Oh, yes, old Jeremy, he had his troubles. You know, his demons would flare up, that sort of thing. I did a very failed joke on stage a while ago, very failed. That needs a lot of rewriting, about how it's funny how the rise of mental health medication was the downfall of exorcism, you know, and it's weird how those statistics work out. But I think it's one of those things where it's like, no, that's still very taboo. Do you know what I mean? And I reckon that's part of it. The people who make up the whole, like, this is what you should do with a patient, have not considered, we need to consider this. Whereas the nurses, I should say doctors as well, but you deal 90% with a nurse. The nurses, as humans, know it, so they're dealing with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing, because like I've been up there a while now, like in different rooms at different times, but there's a few nurses up there that like quite chummy with. Yeah. You know, like you can see past the nurse-patient relationship more. You know, just having yarns about personal shit. There's a few of them up there. Like I said to myself I wasn't going to drop any names before I came up here, but I talked to one of the nurses today. I was just sort of telling him, because some of the nurses that come in, like they don't know the history, because some of them do know like the history, like the behind the podcast and everything, but some of them don't. They don't know me from a bar of soap.
No, you're just a patient.
But if you reach out for help, we live in a world now where you should expect help if you reach out for it. And I'm in a hospital, and it's become glaringly obvious that mental health is not prioritized at all. And I feel like people who have stayed in the hospital for X amount of time, or have gone through something traumatic, there should be more urgency on those, on helping those people. Because I don't know, the last couple of weeks is the last thing I want to do is talk to anyone. Yeah, I'm just down. Like I remember when I first went into the ward, I was just joking around and stuff, and then I just kind of went quiet over the next few days, and I apologize. I don't know who you. I can't remember their names, but they obviously knew who I was, because they came to see the mum across from me. So they came to see the mum across from me, and they were talking about me. They didn't realize I was in the bed. Yeah. And she goes, the young fella over there, he used to be quite boisterous, quite loud, but the last few days, I don't know, I just don't really hear from him, and he's never around. And then it must have been the daughter, because she read my status on Facebook I don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like listening. I couldn't help but listen because I'm right there.
Yeah. And they might know you, but you don't know them.
And they were talking about me, but they weren't talking shit about me. Like,
yeah.
But they were talking like, these are people I don't know, and they were talking with worry in their voice because they were like, he's not acting. Because that was at the start of the whole. I don't have the energy to
deal with people.
Yeah, and then I want to ask you, bro, like, because this is the first time in my life that I've experienced this.
Okay.
And I want to ask you if you've experienced loneliness before. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds stupid, but you know what I mean? Like, have you ever felt absolute loneliness?
Yeah, a lot. Which is weird. So, in different ways in different places as well. So, it's loneliness is a strange thing where you do, and the reason I like this podcast, I love doing this, is because I'm reminded that I'm not alone. But it doesn't stop you feeling alone. It's also the reason I like some of the Facebook pages I'm on, particularly Mental Health Manawatu, because you see things and you're like, yeah, I know exactly. And I'll get to loneliness in a minute, but like, I just want to go back before I forget. Something you said at the very start of this was, when you first met me, I'm the happy-go-lucky Kels, something like that. So at the end of this podcast, if you're listening to this, I will put an audio clip in of, what was the name of the show? Of Only Fools and Horses. You remember Only Fools and Horses?
Of course I do, bro.
I knew you'd know it. I knew your dad would like it too. I liked it.
Yeah.
There's a clip I have saved from Facebook, and I'll put an audio clip of it, of Only Fools and Horses, and it's a clip that will resonate a lot about, like, Del Boy was always the hello love, buy your drink, da-da-da, like that guy. Do you know what I mean? Like the life of the party, da-da-da. And there's one episode, and I've never forgotten this, where he cracks and he exposes who he really is. Like, I'm not, you just think I'm Del Boy, but I'm not. It's a mask I put on. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not going to lie, like because I know I say this a lot, I cry at everything. Like, movies and shit make me cry all the time.
Yeah, you do.
But like, I saw that and I just fucking cried because I'm like, this is him talking about me.
Yeah.
And when I first saw that clip, because I hadn't seen that clip, I hadn't seen that show since I was little.
Yeah, growing up on TV1.
And when I saw that, Mm-hmm. And when I saw that clip, I was like, oh, fuck it. Yeah, I didn't understand when I was little. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I saw that clip, I cried because I was like, it made me feel less alone.
Yeah.
Because I know Del Boy's not real. Like, trust me, I know. Neither is Homer. But I love him nonetheless. Do you know what I mean?
Because we've talked about in the past about how there's so many movies and clips that's made you cry, and I was sitting here like I don't think I've made anything's made me cry. I actually can't remember.
Watching the wrong movies.
No, but I remember one that I don't think I disclosed this.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to like hide it or anything. I just remember now. It was this by Stan Walker, and it's not So it's a music video, but the music video doesn't start for like 4 or 5 minutes.
Yes.
He turns up to this beach house.
Yeah.
And the inner monologue is playing, and then it goes from like, yeah, you're the man, blah, 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 to look at you, you're disgusting, you're a piece of shit, and he's drinking and stuff. That one got me.
That got me. But, oh, man.
That one got me.
Terrible.
See, I'm human.
Yeah.
But, yes.
So loneliness, I feel alone a lot, and I felt it a lot at home up until recently.
Right.
A lot. In fact, up until the start of the year. And that was when Jen finally came out and said she suffers from things too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then she went and got medication, and
cool.
A few weeks later we could see the difference, and that stopped me feeling alone. Because even though we suffer from very different things, and I'm not going to talk on her behalf about it. I don't. It
doesn't matter.
Like, the things we go through are very, very...
Still adversity.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, and so, like, I didn't feel alone. Like, I felt I had that support a bit more, and I felt she understood a bit more now about what I've been saying for a long time.
Yeah.
I feel it sometimes at this place I go to every day. 5 days a week. I can't talk about it.
Okay.
But there's this place I go 5 days a week. And the gym, it's called the gym. You can tell because I'm so fucking buff.
Look at you ripped.
And
pants are ripped.
Yeah, I feel lonely there. Yeah, I feel like I'm separated from a lot of people, and that makes me, fairly blue and stuff like that. And even though there's great people at the gym, there's amazing people at the gym, very, very good people, but I still feel separated.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that a lot.
So you have a lot of intermittent moments of loneliness.
Yes and no. Sometimes it lasts a long time. Like at home, it lasted years.
Right.
Until fairly recently. And even then, you don't trust not feeling it. Like when that feeling is now that it's gone, I still don't trust. Like I know it's gone, but I don't trust. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying I don't trust Jen. I trust her 150%.
Right.
It's my own emotion I don't trust. Every time I start to think I feel happy, I question that and I don't trust myself. Like, what if I'm just putting up a false wall and all this sort of thing? And yeah, lately it's been. It seems to be when life is going good, I feel the worst. Right. When life is the worst, I'm the most resilient. But when it's good, I struggle the most.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's quite hard.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. And it's I completely get what you're coming from about like being in hospital and feeling lonely, because like you're in a room with 4 patients, right? There's 4 of you in that room. But there's not, because you lead different lives. You're not.
Yeah.
So like you're in there and it's like me, Morgs, Tyron and Siobhan. Do you know what I mean? Like it's 3 other people you don't know from Bar.
And a lot of the people that come and go, they've got things that they're dealing with in their little cubicle that's very, very intimate and private. Yeah. And it sucks. Like some of the things that you got to go through. I mean, I've seen people die. I mean, fuck. Yeah. So the loneliness thing has been, because it organically, as time goes on, you're going to start getting less messages. You're going to get less visits. That's how life works. It's going to be like that. But then on the flip side to that, I'm not very good at not just reaching out, just keeping in touch in general, because I feel like when I'm not myself, I'm not well. Yeah. I just don't. I don't have the energy to do it. I just really can't. And then the physical elements of my eyes and shit. Yeah. Makes it hard. But then so you mix you mix it together and you go days without visits and people. I'm not on my phone, so I'm not like casually talking to people. So you become very isolated. Yeah. So I learned loneliness is a motherfucker, and what it does, it gaslights everything else going on. Yeah. So if you're feeling depressed, it just ignites that. If you're like the anxiety, the panic attacks, they get heightened. Yeah. Like you're walking around more like I want to say well aware, but you're more like you're on like pins and needles kind of thing, like for whatever reason, like. And then for me, like the long walk from the hospital to the lifts back to my bed, as soon as I open that curtain and see my bed and I sit on my bed, I want to leave again. Yeah. So then that's why like they keep saying, "Oh, you're never around." But then I go outside, I've got nothing to do. Yeah. I'm just bored. And then I eventually go back to the room and it's a circle, and I keep doing that till I collapse. Yeah. About 4 a.m. Yeah. But so I stand out on the front, right? Here's something. I got yelled at by 2 different fucking drivers last night. Was it last night? Bro, last night, it was about 3 a.m, bro, and I was standing pretty much at the front of the entrance. Sure. I kid you not, like 7 cars turn up. 2 of them were cop cars, 5 were obviously mufti, and they all kind of just parked, like, you know how it's like kind of like 1 to 2 lanes when you drive in, like the outside of the hospital. They all just parked on that in the middle there, and they all got out and they all kind of like briskly walked into A&E. Yeah. Like robotic like. And I was standing there at the entrance, what the fuck? And boy, what happened was no one could get into the hospital because all these cars were there backed up. Yeah, sure. So one guy yelled out to me, he said, "What the fuck's going on?" And I was just like, smoking, like, because I'm out right at the front. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, "Well, that fucking helps, eh, you cunt." And he just drove off. Yeah. I was like, okay. And then this other lady, she pulled up and she was sort of just looking straight ahead. And then she had to reverse out. But as she was driving away, she goes, "Fucking useless prick." I was sitting there like, what am I
don't work here.
I don't know. And then about 5 minutes later, they all came out of A&E and they pretty much all left. It was bizarre.
But it's weird that they're blaming you. You don't exactly have a uniform on.
Yeah, these people.
Do you know what I mean?
I was definitely not wearing a uniform. I was actually wearing a pink hoodie.
I mean, like, come on.
I was wearing a pink hoodie, and because it was cold, I actually had another hoodie, a white hoodie.
Yeah.
This sounds really gay, really. I shouldn't say gay. A white hoodie tied around me, and I was standing right at the entrance where you drive in. So they were looking at me, like, just blaming me.
Oh, look at this country club motherfucker.
like fuck.
Go back to the golf course, asshole.
I got fucking smashed for that. But my goal was to get out. I wanted to buy some new clothes, go to the barber, get my my facial hair properly done, get this long hair. This hair is long. It's halfway down my back when it's straightened now. It is long. I'm cutting it like your length, like real short.
Yeah, real short, yeah.
And just a little makeover. So then it's kind of like the way I look at it is all this hair, right? It's kind of like all the memories that are attached, because I don't know what it is with Niueans. We're quite attached to
here's the thing, eh?
Because there's a hair cutting ceremony when you're a kid and stuff. So it's kind of like you're just cutting away all the life that I had, before I got sick. So basically all of last year. Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
I'm shedding all that bad stuff. It's like, they say new year, new me, but that kind of is what's going on. And it's just like. Yeah, that was the attitude until today when the doctors came with news and stuff, and it's kind of like you've been resilient to get this far. Yeah. But I'm only human. I get tired, and add that and whatever. So, but the goal was to get to the open mic on Thursday. Yeah. But then I'm like, immediately just by habit, like if I'm gonna be there, I might as well jump up.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Morgan will in a heartbeat.
Oh, you if it's full, you can have my spot, bro.
I'll
give it up.
And I'm pretty confident there'll be a few people that would do that. Because,
you can have mine, yeah.
Especially those that have sort of been sort of known the journey from, let's just call it Boxing Day. All the way now.
Totally.
It's quite a cool story. A feel-good story. It could be a Disney movie. Yeah. Let's write a screenplay. Don't know what we'll call it.
Mickey gets pancreatitis. A Christmas Story.
Death is nigh. Weep, 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 weep. No,
when you wish upon a star, I'm wishing for a pancreas, motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh man.
Come on, Jiminy Cricket.
How many? Yeah, they're looking at. So they've said no to that. The surgery. So they said. This is an annoying thing. So 6 days ago they said, yeah, we're going to go ahead with it. They've ummed and ahed for 6 days, and then today they're like, oh, we're not going to go through with it now. We're looking at other options. Yeah. And I'm like, you just said a week ago we're doing this. So I don't know.
They flip flop. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like, and a lot of people can relate to this, like falling into old habits. Yeah. Time and time again. You're preaching to people on the podcast and others, like do this and do that, and you're even confessing all the things you do wrong. Yeah. Yet you do the same shit again. So for me, even because for me, I know this is wrong and warped and whatever, but I the last couple of weeks, I haven't been particularly doing very well, and reaching out to you seemed a little bit harder for me because I know. In your private life, things are going really well, and I wasn't hearing from you as much, and I was kind of like, I don't want to that same bullshit again. I don't want to burden him, and with my shit when he's got all this good stuff going on. Let him have a good run for once. That sort of shit track plays in your head, and it's wrong. Yeah. But then a week goes by. Yeah. We haven't done anything, and so you're doing the same shit that you've held yourself accountable to. Yeah. You know that these are your flaws. You know what you're doing is wrong, yet you still do it. So that's on me, I feel, because I know I should know better.
Yes and no, but at the same time, my personal life's doing really well at the moment. I'm banging chicks left, right, and centre. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just fucking everyone. Yeah, like, fucking shit's been happening in my life, and it's been great, and I'm happy about it. Do you know what I mean? But, like, how can I put it? Like, I don't know how to describe things very well. This is my problem. Like, yeah, shit. I should be the fucking happiest guy in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, I should be the fucking okay.
But there's so many levels to this.
Like, I don't want to go into like super detail, but I'm fucking. I'm in a throuple. I now have a second partner. Right?
Yeah, we were joking about it the other night at the hospital, how you're going to end up like those Glory Vale, like 5 wives and 48.
No.
Man, you know, remember Pixie Photo where you would have like 48 Pixie photos on the wall.
Different kids and shit.
Now it's time for my third family.
Some hidden because they're like ugly because I got drunk.
I call it family number 3.
Like, life should be fucking...
Yeah,
I'm living the best life, sort of thing. And like, I was talking to my mates the other day, and he's like, "Fuck you." Do you know what I mean? It's like, because I'm an ugly chud. This shouldn't be happening, right? But fucking, they all love Jen. Anyway,
just roll with it. Enjoy it.
Oh, I am, but I still can't help but be like, I hate everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. It's the fact that things are going well hasn't cured me. Yeah. It's still there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I know it all too well. And like, I keep fucking going to these places where it's like, I shouldn't be. It doesn't matter like, I've learnt this now, man. Like, you hear about these, like, I know I talked about this a couple episodes ago, and I don't want to like do the whole conversation again. Like, the one that taught me that, like, no matter what was Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, right? And everyone's like, oh yeah, Robin Williams. I was like, yeah, Robin Williams, but he had fucking dementia, so there's a thing there, right? He had a severe form of dementia, and they say that he wasn't himself when he did it. Do you know what I mean? So Chris Benoit had this exact same thing, and there's been a few others noted cases, but like Chester Bennington from Linkin Park was like fucking such an influence on my life. Linkin Park was, not him. Linkin Park was not just like what I like in terms of music, but like art, culture. Like, they defined my generation. Like, me and all my friends, it defined who we were. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're like, yeah, this is our shit. Do you know what I mean? This is the way we want things, and this is what we love.
Yeah, because I remember Tash way back then.
My
cousin Tash, man.
Yeah, we listened to that.
She loved Linkin Park.
It was more than just the music. It was like, this is our generation. Like, this is who we are and shit. Fucking, and then so like that dude was high in like my status of like fucking cool people, and then to be like, oh, he killed himself, I was like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? And so it doesn't matter how good life is, like, that shit doesn't go away. Like, they say, I don't know, like, they say alcoholism is a disease, and I agree, I'm not fighting that, but like, mental health is a disease. Like, you get it for life, and it doesn't matter how much you fight it, and it doesn't matter what medication you are, and you know, it's like, you can, like, we got a good friend who goes to therapy, right? And his therapy journey is like fucking great to listen to. But it's like, has that helped? And he's like, it's helped, but it hasn't fixed it. It hasn't stopped it.
It's armed you with more tools to live with it.
That's it. It gives you a way, right? And that's, like, I've been thinking seriously, like, I've got to go to the next step. And we talk about this all the time. You and I, we've got to go to the next step. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all good talking to each other on a podcast and shit, but like, if we really want to do something, we got to talk to someone else.
Oh, like, because that's what felt good about me finally. Like, I just sort of said, look, I don't know how to say this, but I've got anxiety.
Yeah.
And she's like, sorry, we can't. And I know that because, in order to give me a medication, it has to be written off by the doctor.
Yeah.
You know, it had to be charted by the doctor.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I don't have a history of taking anything.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, if I was in a far more volatile state, I would have just been left to my own devices, because it was like 2 a.m, and you know, I'm asking for help. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
Here's some Sevrodol. I was like, okay, some Panadol. But then over the coming days, I asked like 2 or 3 more times to different, and because they have to then pass it on to another team, mental health unit, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's been a few days now, still hasn't, and that's me reaching out for help, but every time I go to reach out for help, I'm more and more hesitant, because every time I've done so, it's been just tiring. Like anyone out there will know what this is like. You have to chase help. You have to you have to chase up people that are meant to be helping you. You have to make the phone calls and go from one person to another.
Yeah.
You have to go to an appointment knowing that it's a waste of time, but you need that appointment to be referred to another one.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And then you got to wait for the letter. They don't do emails. You got to wait for a fucking letter.
Yeah.
And then the letter will dictate like how important your case really is.
Yeah.
And it's not as classed as urgent, it's semi-urgent. So you're on the public waiting list, but I need help now. So you look at another avenue. And I don't give a fuck if I call them out. Methodist Social Services on Main Street. Motherfuckers. Remember that time that I messaged you straight afterwards?
Yeah.
The worst treatment I've ever... I asked, begged. Yeah. I was crying. I'll tell you, I was crying on the... Because I was like upset. So I rang them and I'm like, I've been waiting. I used to go in there for food parcels.
Yeah.
And the way I got treated was the most disgusting, deplorable...
Yeah.
Like, got chewed up and spat out, you know, like, and imagine if that was someone who was like, you know, like a staunch, like a Polynesian dad, you know, who just keeps quiet, keeps to his own thing, but he's quietly just crumbling, and he finally, like, he's like, no, I'm going to do it, I'm going to reach out, and he finally reaches out and gets treated like the way I got treated.
Yeah.
What's he left to do?
Exactly.
It's really hard, you know, like, and this is why guys like Mike King bawl their eyes out, because it gets to a feeling of helplessness. I was following Mike King's daughter, and she was crying in the car because I could relate to it, and so many others could relate to it, where she's yelling for help, screaming for help, and she's getting just pushed and pulled here or there. She has to make the phone calls. Yeah. She has to do the whole like follow up on medication. You went through the same shit with the citalopram, you know, trying to get an appointment with the doctor. Yeah. I just feel like how the fuck do we create more urgency for this? Yeah. Like, we're all aware now. Like, you know, like this, you know, the cat's out of the bag now. Mental health. Oh, funnily enough, it's really important. We all know that now. Yeah. But I feel like, because in one way, everyone's patting themselves on the back. Oh, there's more awareness for mental health now. But the awareness is not changing fast enough into implementing change. We're all just sort of sitting around going, yeah, that's a bad thing. We really need to have more attention to it, but it's nothing available. Like, you know.
And the nothing available is probably the biggest problem, because, like, I've been trying to find something, right? And so, like, I've got a GP appointment later this month, like, the first one I could get, and it wasn't until the 26th of June. So, like, I'm going to run out of medication before that. But, fucking, what can I do about it? Do you know what I mean? Like, every time I ring to book and they're like, oh, but, you know, I'm like, oh, I have to take it. And it's the soonest one. They're like, well, why do you need it sooner? I was like, well, I'm going to run out of medication before then. And they're like, and then I either get, well, you should have thought of that earlier. And then I'm like, I have 20 days worth left and I'm still going to run out. Like, I'm booking 20 days out. Or they go, oh, well, we'll put you through to the mailbox and you leave details and we'll send you a script. And every time I have to tell them no, because you won't let me do that. No, we'll let you do it. It's fine. I'll put you through. I'm like, no, don't put me through.
A failed system.
Yeah, and then so they put me through and I'm like, okay, I'll play the game with you.
That just sort of highlights and you know.
And then so, like, 10 minutes or whatever, an hour later or 3 hours later,
that's the word
I get a call going, oh, we can't renew that over the phone. I'm like, well, why did she put me through? I always say to them, you guys do this every time. And every time I say no, you insist I can. This time they wanted me to do a phone appointment. And they're like, I was like, a phone appointment? And they're like, yeah, if it's just in your script, do it over the phone. I was like, oh, great. Okay. And will I see the doctor sooner then? They're like, no. It'll be the same day and same time as you were going to come in. I was like, well, then I'll just come in. What's the point? Like, you're not... Drawing on the phone isn't going to relieve me. And I still have to pay the full amount. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't change anything. So I'm like, well, I might as well come in then. So, and I know this appointment, like, I have to talk to him about other stuff. I have to get a referral for therapy because I've tried to find something myself. And it's like, everything I found is like, no, booked. You have to get a referral. We only work on referral. There's a few others I want to chase up. But it's also like, what I want isn't available. Do you know what I mean? Like, my thing is like, I don't think I'm going to do well on a one-on-one setting with someone. Like, I just don't think Do you know what I mean? Like, I just know if I go to see a therapist, it's going to be a bit shit. I'm just not going to open up. But I reckon if I'm in a group setting like Mana Men do, shout out to Mana Men in Wanganui. If you're in Wanganui, fucking look them up. I think I would do better. But to find that here is really hard. There's only one group that do it, and it's like, I read what they do, and I'm like, I don't fall into any of these categories. It's like, are you going through a divorce, or are you an alcoholic? And I'm like, well, no. I mean, I'd like to be an alcoholic, because it sounds fun. No, it doesn't. I fucking hardly drink anymore.
Oh, yeah, man, drink. I haven't had a drink since February.
I had one last night.
Because I can't.
Yeah, I had one drink last night, and I only wanted it because I was cooking a barbecue. I was like, I feel like a drink.
Because it's been nice weather, like...
yeah.
But did I tell you about the time that the receptionist chased after me because she thought I was an Uber Eats driver?
Oh, no. At the hospital?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, damn. I thought I'd told you.
Oh, please tell me.
Oh, after hours, you got to go through A&E.
Yeah, sure.
Right? And but in the main reception area, there's still a woman behind that glass.
Yeah.
She's there till quite late. And for weeks and weeks and weeks, like, you'd walk past her and never would say a word, right?
Yeah.
This one particular night, I was walking past and I just got some Uber Eats dropped off.
Yeah.
So I was holding the bag. And as I was walking past her, like, she jumped up and started with two-fisting the glass, banging on the glass.
I'm guessing you had your headphones on.
No.
Oh, okay.
I had my headphones on. I looked. I was like, "What?" She's like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "Ward 29." I was like, "No, you wait right there. We're right there. You guys can't go up there." I go, "What do you mean, you guys? I'm a patient."
Yeah.
And she literally goes, stopped in her tracks, goes, "Oh," put her hands in the air like, "Oh, I thought because," and she waved over her face.
Oh.
She waved, like, you can't see me, like, she waved over her face. I thought because, I'm sorry.
Whoa, you should have reported that.
And I just sort of, because I stopped in my tracks when it happened, and she sat down, she was shaking her head, giggling, and I just sort of walked away like, wow.
Wow.
Is that racist?
That is racist.
Okay, so we're on the same page. Yeah, that happened.
Whoa. That is like...
And that's the thing is, though,
racist.
she's never made a fucking peep the whole time I've been there.
Yeah.
And this time around, she's like, where are you going? You guys can't go up there. I was like, you guys, I'm a patient. Oh, I thought because of the way you... I'm sorry.
Jesus.
And then she waved her face when she said that.
Next time you go past her, you should do that back to her.
Yeah, but then, like, there are other times where I'm guilty of things. So, like, there was a shit hit the fan, shit hit the fan about nearly a week ago when, because I always, like, smoke weed every night. Like, it helps with pain, right? Sure. But I got really, like, lackadaisical with it, and I started just doing it really out in the open.
Yeah, I witnessed that, yep.
Yeah, so, like, at first, like, the surgeons knew that, like, I smoked weed.
Yeah.
And I know this is all off the record, and it is off the record, but they weren't exactly saying, oh, you shouldn't do that, because at the end of the day, a lot of the pancreatitis is about pain management. Yes. So when they ask me what's the most effective pain relief, I'm like, well, actually, cannabis is.
Yeah.
So they weren't like, keep it going, smoke some more. But they were like, and then
they're putting their hands in the ears, going, well, we didn't hear that.
And then so a few nurses become privy to you, like, chopping up smoking weed, and they're the same. They're just like, they don't judge. They go like, hey, if it's gonna help you, cool.
Yeah.
But then I got a new batch, a new drop off the other night, and it was stank. It was stanky. And like, so a nurse that won't be named, she texts me. She's like, I can smell that down the corridor.
Yeah.
Anyway, a patient complained, and security came, and it's the same security guard that I call him Backstreet Boy because he's got like a 1997 undercut going on.
Yeah.
Like probably in the early mid-20s. And I had a run-in with him a long time ago where I was sitting out the front with a cigarette in my hand, and I was just sitting there because I needed a rest. Yeah. And he started blasting me about it. I'm like, I'm not having a smoke. And then he didn't, he's like, oh, sorry. This time around, he came along. And then, and then the next day a head nurse came, and I got it was an incident report. Next time the police would be notified, yada, yada, yada. And you know what I'm like. I address the elephant in the room. I can't help myself. So when I saw him on on guard, on duty down A&E.
Yeah.
I beelined right up to him. I was like, hey. I was like, so incident report, what's that all about? He's like, I don't, not from my end, blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, what did you say? He's like, well, I did say that you were chopping it up right in front of me and multiple requests for you to put it away. You just didn't. And it's illegal. You know that, right? I was like, he's like giving me this speech. And I'm like, fuck, yeah, I know it's illegal. He's like, well, you could just not do it. Why do you even do it?
Yeah.
He got real snarky with me. And I'm just saying, at the time, I had this metal thing. I was attached to this machine that was, kind of keeping me alive and shit. And I shook it. And I'm like, motherfucker, like, if you've been in here for as long as I have, we're going through all this shit, like, this helps with the pain.
Yeah.
As soon as I said that, he immediately, his face changed.
Yeah.
Like a revelation, like he'd never heard that it was for pain relief before, because clearly this motherfucker knows nothing about weed, because he keep calling it marijuana. He's one of the people you hate. A white dude that keeps calling it marijuana. Because I even said out loud after a while, I was like, he's like, what? I'm like, you keep calling it marijuana. He's like, well, cannabis, weed.
At least cannabis.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and so when I said that, he goes, you know what? My nana said that about marijuana. She's a marijuana fan. So you know what? I get it. And just sort of became my friend again. But then, so I went outside, and security guys never come up to me outside, right? First one, she came along, and she's like, hey, it was right at the other side of the where I usually sit at the cafe. Yeah. She came up to me, she's like, are you smoking cannabis? I was like,
yeah,
nah. And she's like, full disclosure, like, it doesn't bother me personally, but I have to be, like, I have to at least tell you shouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah. And then I talked to another security guard. He came over to me, and I was kind of like, that was pretty brazen. It was kind of right out the front. Yeah. Right out the front. It was like 2 a.m, and he came over to me, and because I smoke it like a cigarette, so a lot of times you can't tell.
But you can smell it.
But he came over to me, he's like, are you smoking cannabis? I was like, nah. And he looked away, he's like, I can smell it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. And he said the exact same, nearly word for word of what she did. She's like, look, full disclosure, it doesn't bother me personally, but I have to be seen to be telling you.
Yeah.
And I immediately clicked. I'm like, wait on, you were standing on guard in A&E. How did you know that I was out here smoking weed? Is he watching right now?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. And so he's got workmates, I won't name them out loud, but he's got workmates that sort of said, oh, watch out for him. Like, there's a few nurses that are like, he's a bit of a dude. So that was, but the thing is now everyone knows I smoke weed. And I can tell you now, and they can all argue this point, I don't give a fuck, because it's so true. The demeanor has changed for some of them.
Yeah.
They look at me different. They treat me differently.
Yeah.
Instead of a stop and chat in the corridor, it's barely a hello.
Yeah.
Some of them, like, there's an abrupt change to some of the nurses.
Yeah.
It can only go, because it coincides with the whole, like, oh, he smokes weed. But I always have. Like, and here's the other thing, because, like, nurses can't be involved. No. Blah, blah. So they had to immediately put their hands up, be like, oh, I didn't know anything. Yeah. And it wasn't like I was like, he knew, she knew.
Yeah.
So I kind of got thrown under the bus because, well, according to some of the people I've spoken to, no one knew that you were smoking marijuana. I was just like, oh, yeah, no, I hit it well. Sometimes I do break the rules.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm just standing there innocently getting told I'm a fuckwit because 7 cop cars have blocked the way.
Yeah.
But, there's one thing I need to tell you. I was trying to tell you the other night when you came with Jen and your mate, what's her name?
Kirsty.
Jen, Kirsty, yourself, and then Morgan came.
Yeah.
And I was trying to tell you about the myth of the secret menu.
No, yeah, we know.
Yeah, you and I were trying to, but like there was a lot of crossfire going on.
Yeah.
Dude, so for so long, bro, like I keep hearing about this side menu.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a joke because everyone knows the hospital food ain't the greatest. Staff, everyone talks about it, but it's food at the end of the day, whatever.
Yeah.
But like sometimes when you're talking to one of the people, like they're like, oh, well, like unless you have like a side menu.
Yeah.
You have a side menu, like a secret menu.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I thought it was like a myth. It didn't exist. It exists.
Yeah. Just gonna.
How do you know? Are you all here? That's amazing.
Yeah.
There's a secret list.
Yeah. Fresh cooked.
Yeah, like no one really knows about it.
Yeah.
Burgers on demand.
I told my mum about the secret menu.
Yeah.
She's got to go in for surgery soon, right? She's waiting for dates and shit. And then she's like, I'm going to get food off that. I was like, they don't just give it out, Mum. She said, no, but I'll ask.
It's got to be hard copy.
I was like, no, but they have to, like, the nutritionist has to, like, say, like, don't worry about it.
I think they're the link between patient and kitchen.
Yeah, she's like, don't worry about it, son. I was like, really? She's like, what I'll say is last time I was here, I got the side menu. I was like, oh. And then she goes, and if I name the things you said, they'll know I know.
Yeah, because there's stuff on there like Whittaker's chocolate.
Yeah, then she's like, the one with the chocolate and burgers.
Yeah, because like I just filled it out. Like I was like Oreos. I was like ×4.
Yeah.
Hot chips. Yep. I was like burger. Cause all the while thinking this ain't gonna happen. Yeah. So I got down to the Whittaker's. I was like ×4. And then the next meal came and it was 2 trays.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the second? What's on there? She's like, this is your your other side menu. And I was like, is that a freshly made burger for lunch? And I was saying it loud so I could so I had my curtain closed as usual and I heard a voice from
burgers.
She's like, oh, how come you didn't get a burger? I didn't say anything because I was too busy eating burgers.
You're like,
yeah, enjoy your macaroni cheese.
Yeah,
your mass-produced macaroni and cheese.
It's not even called macaroni and cheese because I can't legally call it. It's like
macaroni
with cheese flavor.
Yeah, cheese flavor. Yeah, cheese flavored macaroni.
Cheese flavored sauce and noodles.
Man, when Morgan was there, so Morgan came that night, right?
Yeah.
And I had to go get a X-ray done, so they had to wheel me, like, out and stuff. And like, so he came along.
Yeah.
And what was I saying? Like,
Morgan X-ray.
He
got to push the buttons.
Yeah, that's not what I was gonna talk about.
Okay, secret menu.
Secret menu. Oh yeah, the secret menu. Yeah. Yeah, no.
Good yarn, Kels.
Yeah, no.
I need half a story.
I know, like it was right there. Is the teapot in here?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, we took it in from last time.
Yeah.
Because the tea gets cold out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love green tea.
Green tea. Mm. Yep, that's great. We had it with lemonade the other day in the teapot. And that was cool.
So the lady next to me's been shitting in a pan.
Oh, man, you're lucky. That is so erotic.
Shitting in a pan. Now, here's the thing, bro, is there's a curtain, obviously, that divides us. So it's an impenetrable force of smell and smell and noise. Nothing gets through that can. Oh, I'll tell you what.
You could talk government secrets.
But here's the thing, like the curtain, right? So behind me, you know how there's a fan?
Yes.
Well, you know how a fan's going, but it sucks in air. So if that curtain's not completely pushed to the wall, yo, for real, if that curtain ain't pushed directly, so it's like idle with the wall, and there's a gap there, and she's shitting, and I know she's shitting because it's loud.
Yeah,
and I can't.
Pan, so it's plinking
I'm
down.
Like, why did I charge my earphones on the far plug? Oh no! Because sometimes I'm like, she's already started. But here's the thing. Then I smell it badly because I've got it on like fucking level 4, the fan.
Yeah.
But then behind it is a whole bunch of fucking fecal aroma.
Oh, yum.
And it's just pummeling into me. And I've got $180 like glass of like cologne, and I'm spraying it like it's fucking 3-in-1 oust. I'm like, I don't care of the price. I don't care. Like, and I had the Glade. Oh, so one of the nurses, she came in when the weed was smelling bad.
Yeah.
The Glade. So the problem of using Glade is it makes everything smell like a urinal.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's really loud. So she knows, she's like, you feel like, it's not like I'm like, oh, you fucking stink, bitch. Like, but like by spraying it like around the curtain, she's like, oh, like you can hear her go, oh, followed by,
sounds.
Yeah, because it's an echo. It's an echo tin chamber.
Fuck, she needs her own room. I'm sorry, and no disrespect to the woman because she's in her situation she's in. Like it's not like she chose. I'm sure she would prefer the privacy of the stall.
The fan really exacerbates.
So we're not knocking you, Pan, poo lady. You're in the situation you're in, but like, give her room.
And here's the other thing: if you don't have a room and you're in a shared space like that, before you should like put toilet paper in the pan because it dissipates the sound. You know, but you know, this lady's a trooper. She's got sound from the jump, like from the ass onwards.
She's a noisy shitter.
Yeah, so that's like, oh, my cue to leave. I leave abruptly.
Since we're already on the topic of disgusting things, I don't know. Lately, I think actually I'm going to bring this up when I go to the doctor. Lately, I've had shotgun poo. You ever have shotgun poo?
Well, describe what a shotgun shit is.
A shotgun shit is when you sit down. And you only have to give it a light tap, light push, and it just like all comes out in one go, like a big fucking shotgun pellet going, blam.
Well, I've been taking laxatives daily.
You know?
If we want to talk about this subject,
no, it's not runny. It's solid.
I'm not saying
the whole thing comes out in one fucking. It's like those old timey muskets. They shot one big fucking ball.
Look, multiple times a day I have to talk about my shit. And I'm talking about it in my own personal... I'm not going to... I'm taking laxatives every day, but I'm not telling... You know, like, mine could be solid too. I don't know. You know, just...
It's not in the fucking pan. I know.
I can tell you now that I put in some time. I put in some time in there. Because it's kind of like my office now, in a way. Like, there's a big, like, communal, like, it's a toilet. Yeah. But it's also like a massive bathroom and a shower, right?
Oh, I know, yeah.
So, like, you know, the whole weed smoking thing, dead giveaway here. But I go in there and I just, so what happened, the perfect time is to, like, roll your joints before you take a shit. Yeah. Because it gets rid of the smell. Yeah. You know, you're like, weed's potent, but
yeah, okay, so I see what you mean. You're cancelling each other out. Like lighting a match.
And I don't know if I would call it a shotgun. But I put it away. Sometimes I have to flush mid.
See, that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Is there's no mid. It's one go.
Nah, mine just keeps. There's. Oh man, I can't believe we're talking about this. Because maybe 6 times, 8 times, 10 times a day you hear, have you moved your bowels today?
Oh, I know.
But then like
you're really interested, eh?
But then a few of them like will follow up. Like was it brown? Like what color was it? Was it oily? Yeah. This and that.
They have those charts, eh?
Oh yeah.
So you can be like, oh no, it was an A2.
A2.
And A2.
Hit.
Yeah. Like you sung my battle shits.
Oh man, I don't know like how long I'm gonna be in there for, but
we'll see.
Well, you know, it's kind of like everyone's going through their own shit. Everyone has a story. Yeah. Mine isn't. I'm not saying mine's any harder than to someone who seems like they have it all, like a husband or wife, kids, a house, a 9 to 5, 2 cars in the driveway, food on the table every night. But they're out there struggling. That's not to say that because I'm sitting in hospital with physical health, like damage and going through all that bullshit, all that drama. It doesn't mean my adversity is any more than yours. Whatever you whatever you perceive your drama and the bullshit that you're in to be, that's just as big as what I'm going through. So we're 100%. we're all on the same level, and we're all trying to find our way through. And regardless of how much I find you and I can help others, it's so terrible helping ourselves.
Oh, I'm the worst.
It's so bad.
Yeah, I'm the worst at it. I'll help anyone in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
but I'm not good at doing it myself.
But the thing is, though, I think there have been subtle changes because I know the signs. Yeah, I know what triggers it. Now. So you sort of, it's kind of like when you're in the supermarket and it has started to rain outside while you're inside, right? Yeah. So you're walking outside, bracing yourself for that rain. You can't avoid it. Yeah. You know, but it's just stuff that we have to be more vocal about. And like one of those times, and I'm guilty of that because I kind of shut off. The easy option is to crawl back in that bed, and just all your troubles will go away. And it's heightened. It's even easier for me because I'm in a hospital, so I don't really have any responsibilities right now. Right? It's easy for me to just turn over, go back to sleep, and I've been guilty of that the last 2 weeks. But what it's done is dug the hole deeper. Yeah. And I need that fucking fight to get through what I'm going through.
Yeah.
because I miss my life, man. I fucking miss my life. Like, the physical stuff, I mean, dude, like, I was telling you earlier, like, how I've lost weight, but I've gotten bigger.
Yeah.
That's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the physical stuff. But the mental stuff, I miss just doing, like, life, man.
Yeah.
I miss just hanging out, like, the freedom of just going somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't have that, like, you know, the normal routine at night, like, joking around with my daughter when I'm not strapped to a bed. Like, I'm really finding it tough.
Yeah.
And I want to say to those that have reached out to me, but they intend on visiting.
Yeah.
And one thing or another comes up. My thing to say to them is, you just turn up.
Yeah, just come.
You know, you've turned up more times, like, unannounced than announced.
Yeah, the only thing I normally do is I try and message you, be like, is there anything you want?
Yeah.
You know, and if I don't hear back, I'm like, I'm still going to go.
Other than that, I'm in Ward 29. You know, I'm sure one or two people know me up there by now. Just ask around.
Oh, we did.
Or look for the cubicle with their hats and the sneakers and the $180 cologne smell.
Yeah, grotesque smell of shit and weed.
Oh man.
And Glade air freshener.
I was gonna sellotape the curtain to the wall.
Yeah.
It was Kiana that taught me out of it. She's like, "How bad will the lady feel, Dad?" She looks up and she sees you've taped the curtain to the wall. Like, she already feels bad enough. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. She was just like, when you hear that, she goes, when you hear the rumble, just run.
Yeah, get out of there.
Yeah, politely.
Yeah.
You know, don't go, ugh.
But like I said, we're not trying to belittle the woman because she's in her situation.
No,
that's not her choice. So.
When I say we've all been there, like, a lot of us that have, like, in 82 days, I've been through some shit, you know.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So I've been that person. There are times, but that's what the hospital is for.
Yeah.
If anything, there's a lot of empathy there. I'm just falling short of, like, giving her encouragement, like, push harder, Gil.
Yeah.
You know, maybe like squeeze an ass, like pull an arse cheek out, like
how about a bit more Weetabix in the morning, you know?
You know, maybe plunge it first. Put your middle, like, put a little.
No, whoa! Let's stop there. It was graphic enough with my description.
Okay.
I think the thing is, we'll wrap this up, before you jump, remember that your battle is just as worthy as anyone else's. It doesn't matter how big or how little.
Don't try and measure it. Don't try and be like, oh, he's going. Oh, how could I possibly talk about that, this to him when he's going through all that? Oh, nah. No, that's
at the end of the day with mental health. No matter what your mental health thing is,
it's big. It's a big deal to you.
Yeah.
That's
you're
all that
just
matters.
as worthy as everyone else, and there's no winners and losers. No, sorry, there are winners. The winners are the ones who keep breathing.
Yeah.
You know, the ones who keep the fight going.
Yeah.
But your fight isn't as big or as small as anyone else's. It's just as valid.
It's just as important. And maybe for once that person doesn't want to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
Maybe let's talk about your train wreck of a life. Let's just hey, we're all going, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
And then, like, I think, let me put it this way, like, the Empire State Building has, like, I don't know how many floors, 99 floors or something, right? 100 floors. Let's say the Empire State Building has...
Man, if I was building that and I got to, like, there's 99 floors, I'd be like, oh,
one more.
What
was this, 99.99 sale?
One more.
The Empire State Building...
That would irk me so much.
Let's just say has 99 floors, right?
Okay.
And it doesn't matter how rich you are, there's still 99 floors. It doesn't matter how poor you are, there's still 99 floors. And it doesn't matter if you've been up 50 floors or you've been up 99 floors. There's still 99. So your battle is still just as valid as everyone else's. It doesn't change if you're rich or poor or thin or fat or it's anxiety or depression or bipolar or fucking whatever.
Maybe you identify as a frog.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
If your depression is brought on because of the fact that you can't identify as a person you want to be, that is just as valid as my issue of my fucking psychotic disorder or whatever the fuck, my bipolar.
Compared to someone who's trying to find a human-sized lily pad, the struggle is real. Does not matter.
Yeah. The struggle is real, honestly. Eat your flies, motherfucker.
Eat your flies. Eat your lily pads.
All right, that'll do.
And reach out, motherfucker.
Yeah, do reach out.
I'm talking to myself. reach out.
If you listen to this and
fuck.
you need to reach out because our inbox is fucking dead.
Oh no! See, mine's not. See, one thing is one message comes through, then another, but then a week goes by, and remember, I haven't had a phone for a few days as well. A week goes by, and there's like, now the to-do list is growing, like there's like say 15 people. Yeah. You know, and when I have the energy to do so, I start ripping through them, but then people start replying. Now you've got like 8 combos on the go, and that's like my nightmare. I can't keep up. I just can't do it. So, like, I'm getting through them all. They are all, like, you know, welcomed.
Appreciated.
All appreciated.
Yeah,
you know, small and big. All dramas are dramas. Right. We've all got a fucking story.
Yeah. I can see you've been playing with that cigarette for half an hour now, so I'm going to let you go smoke it.
Yeah, I don't want to smoke it in here with your laundry.
That would be nice if you didn't, because our towels are here, and I don't want to fucking get out of the shower and I can smell
smoky.
Yeah. All right. Reach out, people. Reach out.
Yeah, love you.
Oh, this is still going. Okay, hold on.
It's still going? Well, like, there's a PS.
Stop recording, Oh, I'm pushing the wrong button.
Oh, you're pushing the wrong...
You've changed, Del.
It was about time you did. Come on, we've got to go down to market later on.
I mean, your personality has changed. I've seen a side of you I never knew existed.
You don't understand, Rodney.
You're right about that, Del. I mean, look at you last night. You was laughing, you was drinking. I mean, why didn't you just put your Boney M record on, Del? We could have had a good old knees up. It was Grandad's. How could you get over it so easily?
Get over it? What a plonker you really are, Rodney. Get over it? I ain't even started yet. I ain't even started, bruv. And do you know why? Because I don't know how to. That's why. Survived all my life with a smile and a prayer. I'm Del Boy, ain't I? Good old Del Boy. He's got more bounce than Zebedee. Hey, pal, what you drinking? Go on. Hello, darling, you have one for luck. That's me, that's Del Boy, innit? Nothing ever upsets Del Boy. I've always played the tough guy. I didn't want to, but I had to. And I've played it for so long now, I don't know how to be anything else. I don't even know how to... Oh, it don't matter. Bloody families, I've finished with them. What do they do to you, eh? Hold you back? Drag you down? And then they break your bloody heart.